Let's turn our attention to one trending ticker. We are watching shares of Robinhood down just slightly here this morning as its market cap falls below $6 billion, meaning it is now worth less than its cash on hand, which from the first quarter was about $6.1 billion.
It's outperforming the market today. So
that's a silver lining.
That. Yeah. Hey,
we had a guest on yesterday who said that he expects this to go to 350 in terms of the shares.
What's interesting is that when we talk about brokerages, right, just because there's market volatility isn't necessarily a bad thing. If anything, market volatility maybe invites higher volume as people try to make trades. And, if they catch the falling knife or they, try to buy the dip, it doesn't really matter. That could be good if you're getting more trading volume. I think a big story for Robinhood does remain the regulatory side of things, especially with the SEC saying recently they'd be interested in perhaps shaking up that payments for order flow model, which is the big reason why Robinhood exists in the first place. So maybe that's a part of the story as well.
It's the regulatory side. It's also crypto with the big declines we've seen there. I mean, we keep hearing about potential retail traders maybe pulling out of the market, and yet the conversations we've had on this show is that they're still staying in the market. They're just investing in different places. So if they're still on Robinhood, obviously that's a plus. But it does feel like Robinhood is being squeezed on many ends, and that's before the regulatory crackdown.
Yeah, and to the point about the cash flow bit, right? I mean, a lot of people might be saying, well, isn't that really bad if your market cap is below the amount of cash that you have on hand? I mean, I would like to see the same stat for a lot of the companies that went public over the course of 2021, because some of those high growth early stage companies probably look a lot worse if you were to try to compare that ratio of market cap to cash on hand, because maybe a lot of them have almost no cash on hand. So it's not to say that, Robinhood is unusual because of that particular stat. But yes, this is a stock that was much loved during the, it's a short company history in terms of them being public. But I mean, it was way higher than it is right now. Whether or not 350 is the next step, I mean, we'll see. But as you mentioned, there's a lot of noisy stories that break up that narrative.
And the company having to find additional sources of revenue, or at least diversify their sources of revenue in the face of what's happening with payment for order flow. A story we're going to continue to follow.